grandson of right thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light, little flock. If you haven't already realized this, you will be realizing it soon. And the this that I'm talking about is where you've been dwelling and who you've been dwelling amongst. All your life, you've heard about sin, wickedness, and people have told you and taught you from your youth up what those things were. But when you become an adult, you put childish things away. You understand sin in its true form. Not in the form that the world has given you, because the world didn't give you the truth. If being friends with it is enmity against God. That should solve a lot of your mental stress and turmoil that you go through trying to figure things out. That should solve a lot of it right there. Realizing that being friends with this world is being an enemy to God. So the world sells you a nice image, because that's all it ever sells you, is an image of what sin, wickedness, darkness, evil is, you see? But truly, evil, wickedness boils down to faithlessness. And it's raining, y'all, so forgive me if the camera get kind of blurry and wet. But ultimately, it's faithlessness, perverseness. Those two things come together. You'll see, Yahusha say it. Faithless and perverse generation. What about your generation? What kind of generation do you live among? What kind of generation were you born into? You should be able to look around your peer group and see. You should be able to look around your generation and tell what type of generation you were born into. Because Yahusha told the truth about his. You willing to tell the truth about the generation you live among? A bunch of faithless and perverse people. And you'll understand that it's ultimately in how they think about things. That's the faithless and perverseness that you're dealing with on a daily basis, that you're dwelling among. And that faithless and perverse energy among the people that you dwell around, that they have in them, it stifles your energy. That's what a tear does to a plant that it lives next to. It snatches up the needful nutrients from the plant and takes it for the tear, for itself, you see? Even though it doesn't plan on giving you anything in return for snatching up all those nutrients that it's snatching up. The weed ain't gonna feed nobody. The wheat would feed many, but it's not able to get the nutrients because of the faithless and perverse generation it live among. Or in other words, the tares that it dwells among. Tares just suck up, but they don't give anything back. So they react to the circumstances that they're in. Hear me good. That's what tares do. That's what faithless and perverse people do. They react to the circumstance. So as the circumstance changes, they change with it. But what did Abba say about himself? What about the Son? What did he say? I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. So when does he change? Well, if you refer back to what the Father said, I change not. So then does it matter what the circumstances are? No. So then if you call yourself a follower or a believer, then should you change based on your circumstances? The obvious answer is no. But many do. And so the many that do are faithless and perverse. How long shall I be with you? Remember I told you about the stifling energy that you're in? How long must I suffer you? He said. Do you understand that now? People that believe that they're subject to their circumstance. Faithless and perverse. That's perverted living. That's faithless living. So I came to give you life more abundantly. So I can't do much miracles here because they lacked faith. And believe me not. You see how that's going? It hinders your purpose for being, like it did Yahusha. You see what I'm trying to say? When he went among his own hometown and among his own kin, they didn't believe him. So he could do not many mighty works there, except heal a few folk. That's what it said. You see that there? And it says this happened, this hindrance took place because of their unbelief. So if you live around unbelieving people, it hinders you from the thing that you're trying to show them and express to them because they don't believe you. They reject you. You see, the stone the builders rejected became the head of the corner. You want to build something. How can you build if you're looking at all of the weather and you're looking at all of the circumstances that tell you you can't build? When will you start building? You see what I'm trying to explain to you? You won't build because you don't feel the circumstances are conducive to the building that you need to do. Well, that's living faithless. You see? Because we don't walk by sight, we walk by faith. But if you walk by sight, then that obviously means you're looking at circumstances to determine what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's not right, what I should do, what I shouldn't do. Well, then you need to refer to the book of Ecclesiastes. That says if a man considers the wind and the waves, let him not think that he will receive anything. He won't receive his bread back that he put on the water. He won't receive it back. Now, one must have wisdom to interpret what I just told you from Solomon. What he means when he says that. And I'm just, in layman's terms, telling it to you, which is, if you consider your circumstances, then you won't reap what you think you want to reap. What you would like to reap, in other words. Rain kind of kicking up, my bad, y'all. If you consider the circumstance, it will change the outcome because you changed. Okay, let me give you an example of what I mean. The Israelites thought that they couldn't beat Goliath, so they stood there petrified and scared. David didn't have that faithless and perverse thinking. He knew who he was, and he made that clear. It's because we are who we are, we can't be touched. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all so faithless and perverse? Because David generation, just like Yahusha generation. Because David is a type of Christ. He's an anointed one. Wasn't he anointed? King of Israel? From the line of David? From the line of Judah? Okay then. So, same thing there. People that don't believe. Now, if they believed he was